Hey, what's going on everyone? My name is ExxotikGaming and welcome back to a very special Pixel Gun 3D video. We got a new update a couple of days ago for Android devices. It's probably going to come out in a couple of days for iOS devices, and I decided to do an update review for you guys a little late, but nonetheless on this brand new update for Pixel Gun 3D. Arguably one of the bigger updates for this game, but people have a lot of very strong opinions on this update. Now, before we actually get into this, there are some new weapons that were added into this update, and if you guys remember in my last video, I told you all I may or may not continue on with the weapon review series, but I'm going to give it another chance, and if you guys do give enough support on this video, that means leave a like for some weapon reviews on these newest weapons added into this game. If we get enough support, like I said, I will continue on with the series and I will review the newest weapons from this update. But nonetheless, like I said, a lot of people have some very strong opinions on this update, and later on in the second half of this video, I will give my opinions on this update because I have some pretty strong opinions on it as well. But the first half of this video is a very blatant description on what they added in new for Pixel Gun 3D. I mean, starting off here right with the main screen, it's changed a lot. I mean, I opened up this game for the first time just earlier and I was like, wow, Pixel Gun has changed a lot. There's this big bar at the top of the screen here. As you guys can see, there's a league power, which is low. That's kind of the same idea as it was before. You basically have to continually battle people and win, of course, in matches or get like second place in free-for-all. And then your league power will continue to rise and rise and rise till eventually you get the famed 3-star league power. Now, next, as you guys can see on the top left of my screen, I am level 54. Basically, whatever level you were beforehand in terms of up to level 35 is now changed up to level 70, so you're going to be doubled or maybe 50% higher than what you were before. I was level 35 and now I'm level 54, and level 70 is now the max level that you can be in Pixel Gun 3D, which is pretty cool. I mean, I've said for a long time they should have added more levels in, and for the longest time they didn't. There were far too many level 35 players, and I personally think really being the top level is something that should be really difficult to get to. You look at other PC games like GTA 5 and stuff like that, it's really difficult to get a very high level in those games, and there aren't too many people like that. So yeah, I mean, that's good. There are some new levels added in, which is a good thing, but then there are also some things that I don't think that are as good. Starting off with here, as you guys can see at the top right, I have 78,000 coins. I did not have 78,000 coins before I updated, but even though it seems like that's a really good thing, coins are worth a lot less now. They're a lot less in value, and 78,000 was maybe only like 300 now. As you guys can see, the only way you can get coins now is with gems, which I think is pretty cheap of the Pixel Gun company, so you basically have to buy gems and then buy the coins with those gems. I personally liked it the way it was before, where you could buy coins and gems separately, but whatever, it is what it is. As you guys can see, 500 gems is 100,000 coins, and that's $4.90. So you can do the math. It's definitely a lot less than it was before in terms of how much each individual coin is worth. Next off, as you guys can see, it says at the top right a recommendation for the upgrade that's kind of similar to what it was before. At the bottom of the screen beforehand, it used to tell you guys what you should get, and of course the Pixel Gun company, being the money lovers that they are basically going to recommend anything that you have not purchased yet. So the Razor Thrower is something I have not upgraded yet, so that's something they're obviously going to recommend. Next off, in the craft section, I don't believe there are any other things that were added in that are new. It says new items, but I believe those may have been from the last update. I haven't played Pixel Gun since the last update, or since before the last update, forgive me. So if there are any new things in the craft, I apologize, but yeah, there may or may not be new things added into the craft. With the lucky chest and the egg delivery, that's basically the same, but also at the top left it says free 75%. For 99 cents, you can get a specific weapon. This is the Executioner that I believe was added into updates ago, which I have not purchased yet, but I mean, it gives you a different offer than it was before, so I guess that's okay. I mean, 99 cents I think is a lesser price than what a gun is normally, so that's probably good, but then again, there are some other things, like I still say, definitely make the game a lot more pay to win than it was already. Now, going into the minigames, here's something that's actually very good. They removed tickets, guys. That's very good because I never understood a point of tickets. You basically had to pay to get Sandbox and Arena. Arena, for the longest time, ever since the very beginning, was free. You could just go into it and even do that when you didn't even connect to internet. And now you actually had to pay for that, and that was stupid. A lot of people didn't like it, and that was probably the one time the Pixel Gun Company actually listened to people, because every other time they've not listened to anybody at all. You can basically play Extreme Run and Parkour Challenge for free, which is very, very good. Now, going into the armory, this is one of the big changes for this update. As you guys can see, I have to upgrade absolutely everything in the game. Right off with the Mega Destroyer that I did a video on just recently. As you guys can see, it's going to take 10 minutes, 500 coins to upgrade the Mega Destroyer, and you basically have to upgrade these things all the way to the max upgrade. And it's going to make everything a lot more powerful, which is good, but then again, you look at something like the Ghost Lantern, which already was ridiculously powerful, and now you can upgrade that thing to be even more powerful than it already was. So that's a big problem. Basically, there are more overpowered weapons in the game, and of course, to counteract that, what they did was they added an even stronger armor. I don't have that strongest armor. It's going to take some time to get that, so I'm going to probably do that off camera, but I don't actually know what it's called. All I know is it looks like a gray and red color. Now, I don't know why they did this. I don't know why they could have kept the weapons the way they were, but for some reason they decided to make every other weapon upgradable to make it even more powerful. Now for the actual new weapons that were added into this game that I may or may not review, make sure to leave a like I said, for some reviews on these weapons. This is something that was released 2 updates ago, the Serious Argument, but there's this thing, the minigun shotgun, which looks pretty cool to say the least. I can't buy this because I don't have enough coins to get this thing right now. Then there's this thing, the Executioner, that was 2 updates ago, but that's it for the backup section. For the melee section, I mean, looking at this, I might do a video on this weapon in and of itself, the Christmas sword. A lot of you guys might think it's not that special, but I have not seen this thing ever since basically 2013. This is what the Cactus Sword originally was. And this is, I guess, what the first version of the Cactus Sword is, just a little Christmas tree, which is really cool. So I might do a video on this thing because who the heck doesn't want to see a Christmas tree taken into battle? For the melee section, though, that's basically it. There's nothing really special there. For the special section, though, there is this thing that was added in, the Nanobots rifle, which looks pretty cool. It does cost 1,700 gems, so we are going to probably get that and then maybe test these things out in this video. May or may not. I might save those for the actual reviews that I do later on in the future. And then there's this thing, the one-shot. Don't know how I feel about this thing. It's just another one-shot sniper rifle. It probably isn't much different than anything else. I mean, it's a 10-time zoom one-shot, so you're basically looking at another version of, which one was another 10-shot? Or one, this one? Yes. Yeah, it's basically like the charge rifle without the charge, so yeah, it's probably going to be more powerful, so I don't know, maybe this is something a lot of people would want to see. Or the anti-hero rifle without the wall break. That's probably a better example of what this thing is. It has a 4 capacity, a 46 firing rate. Wow, that's pretty low. Dang, that's a very low firing rate. And a weight. That's another thing I actually just noticed now. The weight, this is different. This is, instead of the mobility, I kind of liked the way the mobility was better because it made it a little bit easier to see, but if something obviously is a lesser weight, it's going to be a faster to move around weapon. So if you look at the melee section here, this thing has a 1 weight, and that means it's going to be very fast, a very high mobility. The Dark Force Saber is something that had a very low weight as well. I would assume something like the Carrot Sword. Wow, the Carrot Sword has a 12 weight. That's surprising. Don't really know why. But then, as you guys can see, with certain weapons, you can get a skin. With the anti-hero rifle, you can turn the skin, the gold skin, on or off, which just is a little bit different than it was before. You can get these skins determining on your league points, but as you guys can see, it can get very costly to upgrade these weapons, and I mean, you can see how close to the max of upgrade I have for this thing for its efficiency, and it's 1,428,000 coins to upgrade upgrade this thing. That's a lot. It's definitely going to encourage a lot more hacking in the game, which, I mean, I can't blame people that do that. For over 1 million coins just to upgrade this thing a little bit, that's just ridiculous. And then we have this thing, the Piranha, which does look pretty cool, to say the least. And then we also have this thing, which I am not looking forward to seeing in matches, the Judge, which is another homing missile weapon, which just looks ridiculous. And we already had enough with the Smart Bullet Bazooka, but they just had to go and add another one, so don't know really how I feel about that. That's a little interesting. Now, what I'm going to probably do is just buy some coins here. I'm probably going to buy 500 gems worth just so I can get at least one of these weapons and take this into the brand new game mode. So what I'm going to do is see you guys in just a sec. Alright, so we just purchased 100,000 coins, and as you guys can see, that was only $4.90, so like I said, definitely something that is a lot less worth than it was before. I don't know why they had to make the coins much just more in general, but, I mean, you never really know what the heck is going on with the Pixel Gun Company, so whatever. So now it's going to take 8 hours to upgrade this thing, the Judge, which is kind of ridiculous. So it's going to take a long time to upgrade all these things. I'm actually kind of curious, do any of you guys watching this right now have every single thing upgraded? Because it's going to take me a long time to get all these things. Now, for the pets, there's nothing new. For the gadgets, I believe there's nothing new here. Throwing, tools, and the support, yeah, there's nothing new there. And what we should probably do is now go into the brand new game mode, which is called Team Strike, as you guys can see on the right-hand side of the screen. They added a new map called Facility, and they brought back 2 old maps, Cargo Ship and Train Depot. I'm going to go into Facility because why not? That's a brand new map. It's pretty cool. If you wanted to see some game mode on Train Depot, then you probably can on some of my past videos. I did a video called Purple Weapon gameplay a while ago on Train Depot, and part of my 1-hour Pixel Gun special that I did back in November of 2015 was also on Train Depot as well. So if you're looking for some gameplay with those weapons, or in that map with some weapons, then you should probably go there to see that. Now that I'm actually pretty much finished with this actual review part of this video, I probably should talk about my opinions on this update. Now, to say the least, I don't like it at all. There's a lot of people that have very similar opinions to me. I've looked in the comments of my most recent videos that I've posted, and a lot of people have commented very strong, opinionated things. And unfortunately, a lot of people have quit the game because of this very bad updates that the Pixel Gun Company has released. Now, in truth, there are some things that are good about this update. They took away tickets, which is good. They've added new guns, which is always good, aside from the Judge, which I'm not really looking forward to seeing. It's another homing missile weapon, which even has a freaking H on it. Well, for homing missile, for pure skill in Pixel Gun 3D, no sarcasm whatsoever. They added a new map, which is always cool, but to say the least, there are... Okay, my game is glitched up now. I'm not even touching my screen right now, and... Okay, that was really weird. Yeah, basically... What the heck is going on? That was very weird. I'm very confused what the heck is going on. For some reason, that's how my reload is? Okay, then. I've never tested out the Judge before. Is that normal, or is my game glitched? I don't really know. But, basically, what the Pixel Gun Company has done, they've basically done every single thing. Oh, that's how the homing missile is. Okay, so you're basically controlling the homing missile. You are the homing missile, which I guess is kind of cool. It's a step up from the Stinger, the way it was before, so I guess that's a plus. At least it's not the same way the Smart Bullet Bazooka is, so that's a plus, but still. I did a Pixel Gun rant back in 2016, in December of 2016, and I basically told the Pixel Gun Company, really soft back at that time, every single thing they needed to do to fix the game and make it better than it was before. And they didn't listen. They didn't listen, and they've basically done everything I said not to do in that video with this update. So, they're just getting closer and closer to making their game fail. Now, the only thing they've really done fantastically in this video is exactly that, made their game fail, so... yeah, props to you, Pixel Gun Company, for screwing over your game and screwing over the people that play your game even more than you already have done. They've made it way more pay to win. They've made it so basically every single weapon costs a ridiculously large amount of money. You have to basically pay tons and tons of coins to get the max upgrades of weapons. They say, oh, it's so cool, you get to get all of these weapons upgraded to max. But instead, the only thing that you're really doing is you're making things only a tad bit more powerful because they're already powerful. I mean, you're looking at something like the Ghost Lantern, you're going to pay like $20 to upgrade this thing when you don't even need to upgrade something like the Ghost Lantern because it's already as powerful as it possibly needs to be in the first upgrade. I just don't know why the Pixel Gun Company continues to not listen to the player feedback. We all told them not to add more armor in, and they added more armor in. And then they realized, oh shoot, we added more armor in, and that's kind of a bad thing because weapons are really underpowered. What are we gonna do? And they just made every single weapon upgradable. You don't have to make every single weapon upgradable, you only have to make a couple of them upgradable. Something like the Eindringling or the Brave Patriot that aren't very powerful to begin with, you can make those things a little bit more powerful, but no, you have to make every single weapon upgradable, and it's ridiculous. So, yeah, basically you're going to see a lot more hackers in this update. I can't really blame them for hacking this game. I mean, for 1,500,000 coins to get these things, it's just ridiculous. And in the end, yeah, you're just going to see a bunch of more newbiness in Pixel Gun 3D. Look at this. People like me and that guy, we aren't even moving. We're just sitting there with our homing missile weapon and not really doing anything, and it's just not really encouraging any good gameplay. So, needless to say, guys, if you still want Pixel Gun to succeed, and you still want Pixel Gun to not die, then you might want to go check out my Pixel Gun rant that I did back in 2016, in December 2016, and tell me if you think everything from that rant still applies into 2017, because I sure as heck think everything still applies. I'll leave a link to that video down below in the description, but with that being said, yeah, this is probably one of the worst updates in Pixel Gun 3D history. Another very bad update was the 8.0.0 update in around October of 2014. That was actually the very first update that I did review in Pixel Gun 3D, and in that update, I basically said how the Pixel Gun was basically failing, and luckily what they did was they kind of realized that Pixel Gun was not in a very good situation, and they kind of counteracted that, and they added in some better updates later on down the line. Like the 8.1.0 and the 8.2.0 were all pretty good updates compared to the 8.0.0 run. Now we have this one, and what all I'm hoping is they're going to add much better ones after this one, in a couple of weeks or so. Because if they add another bad one after this one, then Pixel Gun will probably fail, and it's going to be a pretty bad state for the game. So, yeah, that's basically it, guys. I apologize for not being able to do a nice, upbeat, happy video for Pixel Gun 3D now that I'm back from my vacation, but seeing how they've screwed up the game so much since I last played the game is very, it's just disappointing. I mean, I haven't played the game since late May, basically, or no, probably early June. I did all my pre-recorded videos, and then I just took a break this entire summer from Pixel Gun. I mean, I've still uploaded all those videos, so you guys didn't really know, but I didn't play the game at all. I didn't play when that update that released the fidget spinner was released. I didn't play basically at all in all of June and all of July, and now I'm back here in August, and I'm seeing how much Pixel Gun has gone downhill. So, yeah, I mean, just as a message to the Pixel Gun Company before I end off this video, if you keep screwing up your game, everybody's going to move to Pixel Strike. That's all I have to say. Anyways, I mean that's not a bad thing, but I like Pixel Strike as well. But that's just something to note for the Pixel Gun Company. Obviously, they're in competition with the other pixelated shooting games, and I'm sure they probably don't want every single person leaving their game going to another one, but that's just something to keep in mind, because if your game fails, people will go to something else, and they're not going to keep sticking by this game paying money for a game that's not good. So, yeah, that's basically it, guys. Make sure to leave a like I said, for me to review all of these new weapons in the game, like the Judge, like the, what is it called? The minigun shotgun and something else. Oh, speaking of another thing that they kind of screwed up, they made all the shotguns have a much bigger blast radius. Not blast radius, but, kind of expanding of the bullets, of the rounds. So it's a lot more difficult to use the shotguns, so they're kind of worthless now, which really sucks. But whatever. I mean, at this point, I'm just hoping they're going to fix a better update in the near future. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Like I said, make sure to leave a like for reviews on these newest weapons. Make sure to tell me down below in the comments if you want to see me do a video on the Christmas tree sword. I can easily do that and do some clever, you know, funny video with that thing. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you all for watching. If this is the first video you are checking out on my channel, make sure to subscribe for some new Pixel Gun content. And I will see you all in the next episode.